Right. Hey guys, it is Mani coming to you with a tea on the weekly energy. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for joining this week for the weekly energy update. This week is a full moon and it's been a week. It's finally Friday and the full moon officially is tomorrow. Okay, so Halloween, happy Halloween. I hope you guys have a really amazing and blessed day tomorrow. But I do know that obviously the full moon is like bringing forth a lot of energy, bringing forth a lot of feeling, realizations. And that was something that I wanted to kind of go through, unpack, and kind of provide tools and information so that you guys know what you're meant to do with this full moon energy. So yeah, let's get started. So the full moon is in Taurus, and full moons are all about releasing. They're very powerful, and the goal is to utilize the power and the realizations and put that energy into something productive, really pushing yourself forward and moving towards the place you want to be. So with the full moon being in Taurus, we are really analyzing our attachments to things. We're really looking at the things that we value. You know, what do you value in this life? What is bringing you material satisfaction specifically? Just because Taurus is an earth sign, very, very practical. It's also a fixed sign. So it's that desire for like practical stability, you know, things in the world. What are we attached to in the world, and how are these things, you know, bringing us, how are they making us feel valued? Whether that's relationships, whether that's at home, whether that's our career, you know, what is it in your life that is fulfilling you? What is making you feel worthy, right? That's the big question. So this whole week, we've kind of been focused on how can you better your situation. A large focus for this week was how can you add value into your life? Right? It's been a week of realizing your value, realizing the value that others have in your life, realizing the value that other things have in your life. You might have had some sudden and unexpected changes come about. Some of you may have been like thrown out of certain situations, maybe have had to been forced to release some things. Maybe some of you guys have seen deep feelings, maybe from childhood, that are coming up. And that might come through maybe, say, an argument with your family member, or maybe it's not even an argument, maybe you're just realizing, you know, the impact of life and the people around you. You might be feeling, you know, deep things that maybe you suppressed, right? Maybe things that you haven't really looked at can come forward, and, you know, the goal is to process those feelings, process the emotion so that you can move forward. For others, maybe you have had a sudden understanding of your self-worth, of what you desire, of where you need to be right now. Maybe you're realizing you need to be alone. Maybe you're realizing you need to kind of change your ways. Maybe you're realizing you need to take care of yourself better, realizing you need to eat better. You know, there's a large range of things that we can be going through at this time, but basically the full moon in Taurus being that material satisfaction, that value, that money, the resources, right? Being, what do I love? How do I take care of myself? What do I value? You're looking at all those things in all areas of life and figuring out how you can be a better you, how you can get more worth, right? Get more value out of life. That's kind of the big picture. And so for some of you guys, you may have had deep feelings of unworthiness, right? There could have been some shots at your worth, your self-worth, maybe some insecurities popping out, maybe some feelings of being, you know, maybe you've realized like how you work in this world. Maybe you're feeling very blessed, you know, kind of just getting to the root of like, this is where I'm at in my life right now. This is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. Or maybe it's not where I need to be, you know? That's kind of the energy. Like, where do you need to be right now? All those inner frustrations or anything that you're really feeling on the inside, or maybe those realizations you're having, right? It's all about, okay, where do I go next? What's the practical way to take the step forward? It's very, very easy with full moons to like get the realization and have all the emotions come up, but then kind of leave it there, right? And not process it, not, you know, make different decisions. The goal is to have a game plan and to move forward and figure out, how you're going to get through this. Because, you know, if all these things keep popping up and all these realizations keep popping up, but they're not going anywhere, it gets stagnant, you get emotionally overwhelmed, and it's a really shitty cycle. Okay, so when you're thinking about these new things that you want to implement in your life and you're getting all these realizations, and the next step is to do the work. And I know that that's very hard in general, but that is the next step, right? To do the work, to put in the work. You know what needs to be done. Make sure you're taking those actions if you can to do those things. With this full moon in Taurus, you're really trying to ask yourself, how can I better my situation and add value to my life? How can you add value to your situation and better your life? That's the question. What do you need to be doing? What do you need to be engaging with? You know, what do you need to be attracting? What things do you need to let go? Full moons are all about releasing and letting go, so there are definitely things that you have to let go of and release. And honestly, when we talk about releasing and letting go, I want to point out that sometimes that does not mean running away. Sometimes it doesn't mean just leaving situations. Sometimes it is. A lot of the time you do just have to leave, or you do just have to, you know, shift around. But sometimes moving forward and releasing just means maybe you're changing a habit. Maybe you're deciding that you're leaving behind fixating on relations, right? Or maybe you are moving forward to just focus on self. Maybe you're in a situation that you don't really like and you do just want to dip and leave, but this full moon is asking you to maybe change some traits within yourself. Maybe it's asking you to work around specific situations. Maybe, like I said, it's all about releasing, but it's not just, oh, I'm just done. Like, it can be, for sure. If you know you need to get out, do it, right? Sometimes it's not letting go of the whole thing, right? Sometimes it's saying, hey, like, I have these traits that I need to change, or I have things within myself that I need to change in order to make the situation better, or maybe I need to be more humble in this area, right? Maybe I need to be more rooted and grounded, and what can I do to make this better? I think that's a good perspective to have as well, just because this energy, full moon in Taurus, is going to ask us to really humble ourselves and just like sit with ourselves and how much we value ourselves and what we attract and what we allow into our lives. Okay, so super important to recognize that yes, it can be very much so be external things, but it's important to look at life and realize like life is a mirror, and there's always something to be learned about ourselves in situations. So definitely be looking at, you know, your own value and how you work in this life, and you know what is bringing you joy and happiness. Figure out like how you can be a better you ultimately. You know, how are you being a better you? This whole week was all about self-care. Taurus energy ruled by Venus is all about self-care and self-worth. As long as you are taking care of yourself, like, you will be okay. Okay, like honestly, when weeks like this come about, I try my best to kind of remain reserved because I know that interacting can be very triggering. So it's important that you're taking care of yourself. People that have been most likely taking care of themselves and putting that extra emphasis on it will probably be handling the energy a lot better. So if you haven't yet, definitely recommend, you know, taking your self-love baths. I recommend taking a lot of time off your phone, doing a lot of journaling, a lot of introspection, a lot of alone time. Even if that alone time is painful and you're like, I don't want to do this, it's important to, again, challenge yourself, right? Like, take time for you, a lot of self-care. The people who have been doing self-care are probably okay right now, or doing semi-okay, or, you know, just like better off. So if you're finding that you're having a really tough time, it's most likely because you're like really engaged and really connected with the world right now, and it is okay to detach and disconnect for the time being and really focus on your foundation. This full moon is about finding your way back to yourself. Finding your way back to yourself, right? Emphasizing self. And that doesn't necessarily mean being selfish or being preoccupied with self. It just means emphasizing what's at my core. Like, who am I? Raw, real, stripped of everything. When I just am myself and free, when I'm not thinking too much, who am I? Right? You want to find your way back to yourself this week. Full moon energy doesn't just stop after the full moon is over, right? So we still have like another week, 3 to 5 days of the energy kind of just like sizzling out, but hopefully you see this new beginning. This is a time of new beginning, right? When you just sit with yourself and you find your way back home, you know, find your way back to your inner home, you will be able to see yourself in your entirety. You'll be able to make the changes. You'll be able to have a new beginning. One step at a time, one step at a time. That's all I have to say. Take it one step at a time. Just be right here where you're at, right here. be right here where you're at, because where you're at is going to help you get where you need to be. Yes. It's been personally a great week for me. Just very it's a lot of realizations of wow, very blessed to be here, very calm, just very wow, this is life, life. That's it. Very thankful, very, very blessed. The goal for this week is to practice good character. Practice good character. I hope that this was informative. Thank you so much for watching, and I pray that you guys have a really blessed day, that you are able to sustain yourself and find a home within yourself. Find a strong foundation, cultivate it, and let it flourish. All right, guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to. You can follow me on all of my social media, and if you have any questions, let me know. Bye, guys.